Hello everyone, I am Animesh and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to solve the name error and we are going to identify all the possible ways in which this error might occur in your case and how you can solve this. So before we begin, I would request you to please do subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed it now. So let us take the first scenario using an undefined variable. So I'm just going to print age, and when I do print it, I'm getting an error. Name error, name age is not defined. Now, what is the cause of this error? The cause is that the variable age is used before being defined. So now what could be the solution? The solution would be simple. We just need to define this first and then do the print. And now let's execute it and I get the correct output. Now look at the second scenario, which is misspelling a variable. Now when we misspell a variable name, we get the same error, that is name error. Name, NMAE, is not defined. So how we can correct this? So we have already identified what is the issue, and now we are just going to replace it with the correct code. In the solution, here I am going to spell the variable name correctly. So this could be one of the possible issues with your code. Now let's move on to another scenario using a variable outside its scope. Now I'm going to use this particular function and I'm going to print the greeting, which is a variable inside this function. So let's execute this and see what we get. So we are getting error, name greeting is not defined. So what is happening behind the scene is that this particular variable greeting is defined inside the function greet and is not accessible outside of it. So what we can do is we can use this particular function to call this function and we get the variable printed as greeting. So I just changed the function with return value as greeting and then I execute it and I get the output that is expected. Now another scenario could be forgetting to import a module. This is the most common scenario that I have seen. So what is happening is that I am using the math library and I'm using the square root function of it, and I'm getting this error, name math is not defined. Now just a tip here is that this library could be anything. Here it is math, it could be pandas, it could be scipy, it could be numpy or any other library. So how to handle this? We will just do the import of that particular library and then we will use this library. Because we forgot to import, that is why we are getting name error. Name, this particular library is not defined. Now let's just execute this. So math is a library which is already installed, so it got executed successfully and I'm getting the result. But there can be scenarios in which this particular library you have not installed in your PC. In that scenario, what you will do is before importing it, you just need to do a pip install. If you're using pip install and then the name of the library, so you need to pass the name of the library like that. In this case, it could be, say for example, I use math, or it could be pandas, etc. Okay, I'm just keeping it blank right now. Now let's go to another scenario, which is using a built-in function name incorrectly. So I'm using list. List is a built-in function and I just keep it here as a variable name and then I execute it. Obviously I'm getting this error with the name error, and the solution is simple. Now you know already the answer, that it is a built-in function. So I'm going to change the name of the variable and I'm going to type with my list. I'm just going to change that and then I'm just executing. It ran successfully. Another and the last scenario is referencing a variable before assignment. Okay, so I'll just execute it. Here it is printing the counter and then it is giving counter, but here it got an error, name error, and so the solution is that we need to first assign a value and then we need to use the variable counter. So I'm first assigning counter and then I am printing the counter here. So let's execute, and we got the correct results. So these can be the most possible scenarios in which you might be getting the error, and the solution we already discussed. Hope you guys like this video. Please do subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.